What's up, everybody? Today we got another video following the previous video that I uploaded. If you guys have not checked that out, be sure to check it out, just because I explained the character roster if it was 164. For those that are new to the channel, I am streaming every day. For the days that I haven't went live, I'm saving those days for special streams that I'll call it like hyperbolic time, hyperbolic time chamber streams, where we'll just like skip, because I'm actually playing it earlier than the countdown that I'm going by. So I'm going to do that just so I can fix the days left count, instead of just like stream for 8 hours and divide it into 2. I just been trying to get these videos out as quick as possible, but
I'm a rusty old boat hitch and I am barely hanging on. See ya.
But in today's video, we're going to talk about how 164 characters is not the base roster. And if you don't believe me, hopefully by the end of this video you guys would be like, all right, yeah, 164, like, it may be more, it may not be discussed to hide it for like unlockables, but yeah, I want you guys to take this walk on this road with me to see if you understand. In the last video, you guys were saying stuff like, I think they'll remove great apes like Turles, Raditz, Nappa, and replace them with GT characters. I see why you're saying that, because they weren't really shown in the show. Other people are covering the universes of Tournament Power, or finally someone else. So yeah, I never seen a lot of characters from the other universe get represented in people's rosters, so I'm wondering why. UI Goku sign is a separate character, and he transforms into UI Mastered. It's not like a skill. Oh yeah, I talked about that one. So they did show updated gameplay footage of Goku using that one skill. Would you like characters like Pui Pui and Yakon? Cyborg Towel and Mecha Frieza could easily be costumes. You guys said a lot of good stuff. Thinking the game will have more than 164 characters is copium. Look at Xenoverse 2. It's 8 years and going strong. So I'm gonna address all of these comments that you guys have, as well as concerns that you guys have about this game as well. I don't think there'll be any GT. They may have a good sell. So my major question for you guys is this the roster, or is this the character spotlight? So a character spotlight is like they're uploading characters that are only shown in a trailer. So they don't make this panel unless they were shown in the trailer, and I feel like that's the only purpose for this panel. I feel like this isn't the roster panel for many reasons. One, the character selection screen doesn't even look like this in the demo. Remember, company never announced how many characters were in their game yet, but it's funny how they told us how many characters are going to be in the DLC. That characters with all costumes could alternate the characters' moves. So in that one guy's previous statement in my video, that brings up a good point, where you can have characters like Mecha Frieza take up less slots because you can just have that as a skin for Frieza Z. If Android 17 is on here, because they have his super for Android 17, I don't think they're going to make a whole new character for him. Just like Android 18, we do have her Z form up there, but at the time right now, they have not showed us Android Super. Android 17 is going to be the character that's going to prove my theory right. If he makes it on this roster as his Z form, this possibly spotlight characters that were on a trailer. But if he doesn't make it on this roster, it could be scary, because it could mean that this really is the character amount that they're trying to go by. It shows that they're trying to follow some type of limit. Or B, as copium, it can just be like, oh, they don't want to really show costume characters on this panel. Like the character that we get for the pre-order bonus, I believe you get like the one from the Broly movie. All right here. So if I can't zoom in that well on the picture, but right here we get a Goku super costume. We don't know how they're going to use costume, but for sure costumes do alternate characters' moves, and they could be doing the same thing for Android 17. We'll see once they drop this trailer and how they place Android 17. it can still just follow under, they just want to spotlight characters. Another argument that people would have that, you know, to say the character roster is 164 would be that the back of the game case shows similar panels. So that means this panel have to be the character select screen. Someone says, so just one-handed Kamehameha before one-handed Kamehameha was a thing. We have the Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero case right here. Shout out to Tenkaichi4 on Reddit. You can see the front of the case, and then we have the back of the case. Now, this back of the case has the same similar patterns, and people are using that to argue that the hexagonal panel we saw earlier shows the characters. You even have this panel that shows Android 17 and 18, but it's just looking like they're pulling pictures from cutscenes of the game, not really character icons. So we can't treat this as a character select screen. But they do hype up that it will be a large amount for the character roster. You see some more renders of the character models here, and then the bonus that we don't know yet. I'm going to tell you my new speculation. I don't think it's Android 21 anymore, and I'll tell you why. Not now, but you can see that the characters don't even match. Like it would normally go like Goku base, Super Saiyan 2, and then Super Saiyan 3. But then you got like Majin, Gotenks. Like, why is it so mismatched? Do you see characters in the character selection screens in their past games look so organized? They would not do this to the greatest project. They would not just all of a sudden, you know, they are scaring us, because if you look at the demo,
and we are going to go
through
everything
right
that
here?
was recently revealed in the gameplay
at
demo
how
of Summer
they're
games
choosing
as well.
the characters.
So consider Blast 1 moves kind of like buffs, utility,
Most
or
likely
support
just
moves.
the box.
Blast 2
and
moves are
animation.
actual.
Doesn't this look familiar? And isn't it funny how they're both using Unreal Engine 5? You know, we have similar, bro. They better not. I mean, they could, but you can see there's some influence from Unreal Engine 5 being used on this roster right here. There's some influence, and I'm just peeping that. I hope they don't get inspiration for their roster, because having it spread out like this, it's not good. It's not good. People will be scrolling for days. You might as well add a search bar so we can just type up the character's name. Another big majority that I'm going to say that the base roster is not going to be 164
This is where everything
because
gets
this game
crazy,
is a game
bro.
that they're
Look
making
at this.
for the fans. This one, we are making sure is true to the
Es
series.
la cantidad antes que
one
la
of
profundidad,
the main-
al
like,
menos
the
en lo
main
tocante al manejo de los
issues
luchadores
is,
individuales. La complejidad.
Yeah, I can't find it. But there was a guy from the Sparking Zero development team that was saying he wishes they could put more characters, but they were trying, you know, I'm sure they were trying. It was the same interview when they were talking about how they went with adding characters into their game, and they were saying like the characters that received, you know, the spotlight in the shows, you know, the ones that had the more time action and the ones that they seen people mess with a lot. That's how they were going about choosing the characters, and that's how I went with making this roster with characters that were relevant in the show. Like, for example, I have Super Saiyan 1 Khalifa in there because the whole thing with Khalifa fighting Goku in the Tournament of Power was Goku teaching her how to transform into her different stages, feeling that tingling sensation. So why would they ruin the most iconic moment of when she went Super Saiyan 1 and just skip to, like, it's like a bootlegged Teen Gohan that they're trying to do with Khalifa. I'm not buying it. They're going to have Super Saiyan 1 in there. It's a game. Tenkaichi is a transformation game. I don't think they ever had a transformation in the series where they just skipped it, you know? They even had Great Saiyaman as a transformation for Gohan with him going Super Saiyan 2. So, they're going to throw her in there. Same thing with Kaba. I believe he's going to get his 1 and 2 forms for, you know, I can go on into this, but I'll get into it later on in the video. But Kaba went Super Saiyan 1 fighting Vegeta. That was an iconic moment because he helped him train just like how Goku did Khalifa. Then Super Saiyan 2 was the iconic form because this form pushed him during the Tournament of Power when he fought. You gonna tell me they're not gonna put your boy Kaba into this? Look at him, glistening. Do you think he'll mess up Teen Gohan? I think so, because Teen Gohan didn't make it to the tournament. I watched Tournament of Power, bro. I went to work. We were chatting with coworkers that were catching up with the show, you know, episode by episode, recapping. We had I think the huge arguments was Legendary Super Saiyan being canon. That's what was the main big focus. But I rambled, bro. I rambled hella. But my point was saying that they are putting effort into making sure that they're not disappointing their fans. They have Goku. Look at this is what they first showed us in the trailer. Now this is the comparison. It's more, I do like it, but it's more like you can see the expression more. It's more detailed, clear. You have Slow Plays doing an excellent comparison of. Yeah, this is when they first showed that. That's when they. Nice. Clean. Oh, they did 3 updates on him. I didn't even know. First reveal. Second reveal. That looks hella. He didn't capture it at a different frame, I'm sure. That looks good too. I was about to say the second one was nice. Yeah, there's a lot of changes that they're doing, and they're making them so quick. They made his shoulders bigger. Well, look at this one. So Asura 6 covered this, where they did the Kaioken changes. Huge difference. And then I seen them cover the Trunks change. So look at, bro. It looks like there's more like life on his face. So they're making graphic changes for this game, right? To make sure that they don't disappoint us. Not only graphic changes, but they're making... Why is it so blurry? So they did this last minute, remember? Last minute. I think they're already done. Yeah, they're already done with the game. But they're polishing up. And within polishing up, they were able to throw on a whole new mode. Now, the reason was because they created this to be like a one-player person game experience in order so that they can...
expected you could handle this, huh?
So that they can, like, go crazy with the graphics like this, right? But the thing is... You know, a lot of players love playing couch co-op or couch versus, and that was like a staple feeling for this game to feel true. So they were, you know, I'm sure they didn't want that to be missing in the sequel, so they quickly implemented it. So that's another step of how they're taking, like they're showing love to the fans for this game. Not only that, but they're doing mechanical changes. All right, it's towards the end. So you can see he's Majin Buu. Go against Vegeta. He's going to try and smack him into that building right there, and they're going to fight inside. Booah! Look at that, crashed into the building. Flies in. Now it's like My Hero Academia in that one school scene. But yeah, look, you're legit fighting inside the mall. And not just the mall. Like, you can legit fight in the rooms. There's rooms in certain of these buildings. You can just get punched through a window. I think I uploaded it on my TikTok. But, yeah, right here. It was Goku versus Yamcha. Motherfucker got punched through the window and started fighting him in the... Bro, you see? So, there's a lot of other things like stage destructions and, you know, stuff returning like that. And, additions like, you know, having the audience in the crowd run away. Your ears are ringing because they're, you know, not trying to get hit by the blast. And the 4 types of clashes that we can do now, we have grab clashes. All of those new implementations are new mechanical changes that they're doing for this fan base to make this game feel more of like that fan fighting game, right? But look it, just like Final Fantasy VII, they were missing characters like Red 13 and someone else, Yuffie and all them, but when they got to that point in the story, they're in their game because they know the story cannot make sense if those characters weren't in their game. Same with this, Tenkaichi is not going to have characters missing if it's going to make their story not make sense, you know? Like, you cannot be missing Cybermen because then the whole Saiyan arc, Saiyan saga would look weird and bland because it's like, what happened to Yamcha then, you know, like, those creatures were a staple for the Saiyan race. It made you feel strong when you fought in the Saiyan saga before you fought Vegeta, and he just whooped you in his grade 8. Cybermen, Cell Juniors, Frieza soldiers, those were those characters that allowed you to fill that power gap, you know. And then we had companies in the past before that, you know, would embarrass other companies. Like we have Baldur's Gate 3 that showed companies that you can put every bit of content that you want in your game without having it hidden behind a paywall, right? You can Elden Ring, same thing. You can fully complete your game with everything in it and not have it as a game that needs to be patched and updated to be a playable in the future after release. They had that game done. They had that game solid, thought out. It was polished. Yeah, so there's plenty of examples of when game companies just embarrass other companies just because they wanted to do the good for the community. They wanted to just make a game for the people, right? Not for the money. It is still going to be for the money because they'll be stupid not to sell DLC for this game. But my point is, I don't think they're going to approach DLC. I don't think they're going to take the DLC approach towards characters that have been in the previous games. They might do it towards like newer characters that they finally have a chance to give spotlights to, like other gods of destructions, other angels. I feel like they would rather make more money selling newer characters like that rather than disappoint their fans and sell old characters that we can just easily hop on Tenkaichi 3 and just play. Now, there is some weird shenanigans, right? We have the voice actor Sonny Strait. Did I butcher his name? This guy went on TikTok Live and said that he recently recorded for 3 characters in the recent Dragon Ball Z game that's coming out. He said this. He voice acts Giru. Do you guys know who Giru is? T2006. Yeah, Goku, Pan, and Trunks on their quest to find the Black Star Dragon Balls. I did not know that. So this guy can low-key voice act a GT character, confirming GT is in the game. Maybe Pan GT. I don't know, bro. I'm getting like, I didn't see that. I was going to approach this because he said he voice act for 3 characters. That would be Krillin, right? Bardock. Where's his picture? Yeah, Bardock. And my last one was General Blue, because OG looks like it's confirmed. We already have Kid Goku confirmed for this game. So General Blue, you know, just like how I said earlier, they would need to make the story make sense. Kid Goku would need villains to fight. In my roster prediction, only threw Tao in there. General Tao and King Piccolo, right, from the OG roster.
Look, I've been playing Goku for so long, it's I have to think about when I wasn't playing him to understand who I am. So a million moving parts. And so it takes a director like Damon Mills, who's currently directed me on the game, to keep it all really good and making sure that it's going to be as good as the show is very difficult to do when you don't have all the assets, because they're making the assets while you're recording. It's all happening. It's part of video game making business, you know, so it's challenging. Am I right about that, Chris? Because you know more about this than I do.
Yeah,
As the guy you're helming this game, right?
Well, it's fun for the first 6 hours or so. And
well, it's
then
like line by line by line, right?
And then it becomes a bit of a grind afterwards. I've had people have come and say, hey, can I watch a record?
Then brings up the last games that he's been recording with. The voice of Frieza and the voice director of Sparking Zero. He notes that how the various forms of Goku each have subtle changes in inflection, and keeping track of them was all difficult. He mentions the various transformations of Goku that has been confirmed for Sparking Zero, such as Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan God, but then he mentioned Super Saiyan 4 in the same breath, a form currently not in the game. So that's why this is big with the voice actors. And I had a friend that went to one of the gameplay demo sessions. She told me that the voice actor, she was going because the voice actor of Gohan was there, right? Let's look up the voice actor of Gohan. So he does he does Gohan, future Gohan. We know both of these characters are confirmed. He does a pull. Yeah, he's not in the game. He's not going to be in the game, but General White, I'm sure, was like OG Dragon Ball. Yeah. Pycon movie character. Wes Kai, he's not going to be playable. And the narrator of, yeah. So out of all of these characters, the ones that we can look into consideration, Pycon a pool, and yeah, of course Gohan's in the game, but a pool and Pycon, I'll be okay if they gave us a pool because it would make sense for Bardock, right? For, you know, for his part. And then Pycon would help with the whole Goku, Gogeta, Z costume for the whole Janemba movie stuff, right? But this is like giving me second guesses that movie characters could be in the game still. Another big thing about this game too is that they said that this game would be their biggest, right? The last game that they released was 161 characters. This one, 164 characters. I don't think they're going to do all this marketing just for an additional 3 characters with the additional 20 something plus behind a paywall. Like, that's not, it'll be weird for them to overhype their large roster behind a paywall. I don't think just having 3 more characters would be enough to call this game, you know, a huge roster statement. Like, I don't know, it'll be funny because from Storm 4 they added, before DLC they added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They added more than 6 characters. But my point is that Naruto Storm 4 to Naruto Storm Connections added more than 3 characters, and their roster is up there. So I know that if they were bringing a sequel, Dragon Ball Z cannot fold to Storm and just add 3 characters compared to their last sequel, you know? That brings me back to my old point of the someone commented in my video saying that Dragon Ball characters they were saying that they could hide characters like from the OG and the GT characters and stuff like that, the movie characters, behind a DLC paywall, because look at Xenoverse, look at how well it's been surviving for 8 years. And I understand how you are saying that, but the thing is that they even said it. They're going to support all 3 of these games: Legends, Xenoverse, Fighters. I think they said Fighters, but Sparking, because these games all support a different feel of Dragon Ball. And they said this. They were saying that if you want to play the RPG feel, the open world-ish, customizable, you know, MMO feel, play Xenoverse. If you want to play the story of Dragon Ball, play Kakarot. If you want to play a competitive techie one, you can play Sparking now, but play Fighters. And if you like something quick and mobile, and a gacha, they also have that for Legends and Dokkan. But they have these games split to satisfy a certain playstyle of Dragon Ball, and Xenoverse was the customizable one. That's why they were able to get away with selling character packs, because we weren't just getting the characters for Xenoverse, we were getting their outfits, we were getting their moves for our custom characters. That's what they were mostly selling. They weren't trying to approach Xenoverse as to sell us the whole DLC. That's why not everyone's in that game. But Sparking Zero is a character-based game, so they cannot come at it how they did with Xenoverse in terms of like charging us for stuff that was already in sequels. Because if you look at Xenoverse 1 to Xenoverse 2, even though they did support Xenoverse 2 for 8 years, the characters that they supported in Xenoverse 1 were in the base roster of Xenoverse 2, because they weren't going to charge us again for that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for you know, from Raging Blast 1 to 2, they didn't just add 3 characters. Same thing from Tenkaichi 1 to 2, from Tenkaichi 2 to 3. With the Budokai series, they never created an evolution with such a minimal amount of an increase, is what my point is. And it looks like so far with their previous games, they don't charge us for characters that were in the previous game of the same style of game, if you get what I'm saying, you know. I do see them making multiple DLC packs for money. I don't see it being for older characters that were in the sequels. Now, because they can promote and make more money, trust me, you cannot argue with me and say that they would sell more money selling a DLC pack with OG characters compared to a DLC pack with manga characters, right? You have Moro, Gas, Granola, all of their forms included in that is like, you know, Black Frieza. All of that is like on the table for modders for sure, but you don't see them making a capital off of that, or you don't see them profiting or wanting to capital off of that. instead of in not just manga, because manga is still debatable right now if it's even in the game, but we have characters like from Xenoverse, right? You can see that with the recent Dragon Ball Daima teaser, we have more characters being showed. It was just shown yesterday or today. It was a picture that showed, yeah, right here. So here are the confirmed Daima characters, which could be in the DLC pack now that we have pictures. This character right here, that's Mira, but she's considered a Majin, so they're from the demon realm, right? The whole reason why the demon realm is being even brought up in this is because Deborah died during the Boo arc, right? Deborah was the king of the demon realm. He died. There has to be someone to take his spot. Their actions had consequences, and look at how it's affecting them in the future. We have this candidate, I guess, is supposed to be the new one, and then maybe these two are the people trying to dethrone him because he's corrupt. I don't know what the storyline is, but they look like Mira and Toa from freaking Xenoverse. So you can see how they are trying to possibly connect Dragon Ball superheroes, right? These characters were legit in in Kakarot. Like they're trying to connect something. So my thought and thinking process, because of this connection with Daima and how they're trying to make it superheroes related, is like this. The bonus character might be this guy right here. I don't know if you guys can see. It might be this guy. It might not be Android 21, because the way that they're going with this story, if they're going to keep it like story related, I can see this guy being the character that they said the character has never been playable in the Tenkaichi game. He was playable in Xenoverse, so they already have a moveset set for this guy. But yeah, it's crazy. And the thing is, hold on. Uh-oh. Fu is the artificial son of the demon Toa and her other creation, Mira. They had a baby? Fu is their baby? He debuts in Xenoverse 2 and appears in Dragon Ball Heroes, considered by Deborah to be his rightful successor as the Demon King. This is looking like they're they look like they're going to connect this. They are going to connect this to Xenoverse. It looks like they're going to do it. They can sell characters. They can even sell, like I said in the beginning of the video, more super characters, right? I'm making this video longer than it needs to be. My other main point for this,
our 2024 lineup. This is the interesting part. Join us for a chance to play.
Can't tell you the video game, obviously, but I played three very distinct characters, and my voice is shot.
With 15 characters, this is going to include characters like Nam, maybe Aurelie, Pilaf Machine, the Pilaf Machine Fused, Cyborg Tao could be a skin for Tao, so he may be safe. Grandpa Gohan, Android 8, General Blue, Tambourine, Kid Chi-Chi. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't even know if that's 15, but those would make up all the characters for the OG DLC pack that we're missing, that were in the previous games, right? They could go crazy and, you know, add some like characters that we never seen before to make these DLC packs more worth it. But at the same time, that's what we're missing, and that would, you know, be another years that we would have to wait for. Finally, we got the GT DLC pack. This one would include 18 characters and would consist of characters like Goku GT, Goku GT Super Saiyan 1, Goku GT Super Saiyan 3, Goku GT Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta GT, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta GT, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, Oob, Majub, Pam, and I believe Super 17, Baby Vegeta Super Saiyan 1, Baby Vegeta Super Saiyan 2, Baby Vegeta Grade 8, Nova Shinron, Sin Shinron, Omega Shinron, and throwing my boy Ice Shinron, bro. Like, don't forget about him. That would be all the characters consisting in the GT DLC pack. So if 20 plus characters are going to be split into 3 waves, imagine how many waves are those packs going to be split within, you know. So my only thing is like, are they going to drop these out like pretty quickly? Are these going to come out as free updates like how Jujutsu Kaisen did with their updates? That would be fire. That they can do that. That would be understandable if they want to do that. I would actually be okay. You know, like my copium's settled now. If they do that, they could drop this as like free updates for the characters that don't make it. They could milk the fans out and charge it behind the paywall. They could, you know, for the disappointment of not having it in their base roster, could upload 4K HD remastered variants of the older generations just as copium to deal with characters that didn't make it, you know, until we get those. Like there's a lot of approaches that the company Bandai can go with helping the fan feedback and the backlash if they ever receive it, you know, for characters that don't make it into the game. But I'm just finding a lot of wiggleness. I'm finding a lot of instability with the 164 limit cap. I honestly don't feel like it will be limited to that number because of all of these restrictions. I don't think, like, if they do that, they're going to miss out on the opportunity of having a chance to incorporate newer characters. They want this game to be like the newer Tenkaichi, right? So why would they miss out on so many newer characters for their games that they can make more money in and just revert to selling older characters? I sound like a broken record, but that's basically it. Like 164, I want you guys in the comments to try to prove me wrong. There's other characters like from Super that they didn't get a chance to represent, like Xeno, the Grand Priest, Ribrianne's giant form, Dende, we have Mai, we have the other heroes that fight from the Tournament of Power. There's so many like characters that they can use for DLC potential. Since they're heading into like a Xenoverse route, there's characters that they can bring from that realm now, because it's like it's getting to that point. He's from Dragon Ball Heroes, and I'm only saying this character because since they are trying to, it looks like they're trying to tie Dragon Ball Heroes to the canon timeline. This guy Silas was the main villain in the Dragon Ball Heroes game. You know, you have the Supreme Kai of Time and Trunks here in Xenoverse. Look who's in the back. This guy could low-key be the main villain or one of the bonus characters as well. So I'm leaving it up to you guys. It can be him, it can be Fu. That's pretty much the point of this video. 164 characters could just be a little I don't know. It could be I forgot that, a ploy. Yeah, it can be a ploy to just make sure, you know, fans are still going to have some sort of surprises when we play the game. That's my only point. But if you guys have any other thoughts and opinions, place them down in the comment section below. I would reply back to any of your guys' comments, and I would for sure, you know, love your guys' feedback. I have no hate bone in my body, so if you guys have really like critical points, don't be afraid to type them in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll be live streaming as much as possible every day until the release. When this game is out, we'll be streaming, so I'll be here. I'll be waiting for you in case you want the 1v1s, but for the most part, you guys be safe, keep up the grind, and we got like less than 3 months left, guys. Less than 3 months. I'll see you guys later. Peace.